Ooh, okay, so I'm going to make this video while I am trying to get some orders done. Um, Erica Banks made some comments online that I found very interesting, and I look at it as a great opportunity to pretty much have a conversation with you guys, because as much as we would like to act like that was so out of line, and I see so many women reacting to it in different type of ways, I'm going to talk to y'all about this. To my sisters tuning in, I want you to evaluate what type of woman you are, the type of woman you're around. So what type of woman do you think you are? Do you see yourself as? Do you know yourself as? What type of women do you frequent around the most? I know most women might have like different type of groups that they're in, or whatever the case may be. I think that needs to be something that is really addressed, especially for younger women who may not know how important it is to know what type of woman you are. And most of us are versatile, right? So I'm not telling you to I'm not telling you to minimize yourself down, but the type of women that you hang around will impact your state of being. So your mental and emotional health. It will impact the way you operate to some capacity, because if they're operating in a certain type of way and you're not doing that, they're going to shame you. And even if they don't shame you, you're going to end up feeling less than, or like something's wrong with you, like you should change. Okay. And it impacts your future, because if you start making moves that are not in alignment with who you are on a realistic level, you're going to end up in a space where you start doing things that you regret. You're going to look back and realize, like, look, this wasn't me. And I don't really care to judge other women for the life they need to live, or they want to live, or they have to live. You never know what other people's beginnings are. But one of the things that I've learned about myself, and I've seen from my past, and just being around women who just made me feel like, you know, like they always use me, I felt like, to build themselves up in some type of way. Like, and not to say that they were literally even loyal to one another, but my nature and how I am, I was deeply impacted by it because of the type of person I am. Some women don't feel that deeply, okay? Some women don't feel so deeply that they would care about certain things. Certain women are on the path that they are on because it suits their journey sincerely. Not everyone is going to be a good woman or a woman of integrity, because none of us are really good women. Well, good is really naive in a sense. But not every woman is going to be the empathetic archetype of woman that you are, or a woman that walks in her integrity or is striving to walk in her integrity. And in the beginning of your journey as a young woman, stuff like that can be so confusing and can really deter your path, even the men you get involved with. But I want to talk about the women, because the statement she made basically was like, she doesn't go to the club with certain women, yada yada yada. And you know, the women who are clubbers, the women who lived that lifestyle, some of them understood what she meant, and obviously it's because it's a money thing. Now, she said, you know, those type of women can come to the cookout, blah blah blah. My thing is this: the way she said it, there's another video of another woman who, like, I feel like her statements were even worse, but the way she said it, like, I can understand not inviting certain women because they're just not that archetype of women. You have certain women who are more stay-at-home vibe. They like quiet things. They're not really into all that. And that's cool to know your friends and know that they would not be the type of person that you would invite in a certain space. That's just being observant and considerate as a woman. But to down the next woman's looks or make it seem like it's less than is where the issue really arises from. But like I said, it doesn't surprise me. I know a lot of people like to act like they're so surprised. It didn't surprise me one bit, because I know women like to act like they're so goody two shoes, and that's because in comparison to men, they are. in comparison to men, we could be angels. We can easily be seen as angels, because men are just right. I'm like stuttering because I don't want to say it the wrong way. But men have been unruly for years now, like unruly, like just lack of integrity, lack of morality to a high extent, you know, because society has allowed that and applauded that in men. So of course, to a certain extent, we as women can make ourselves look like creme de la creme, right? If you're comparing yourself to what men do. And a lot of times I see toxic women using men as an excuse to lack integrity, an excuse to do things that we know are out of alignment. And also, like I said before, depending on what type of woman you are, you cannot assume other women are the same way. You just cannot. There are women out here who are just as ruthless as some of these men. There are women out here who, which, like I said before, every archetype has its place. I'm not here to change it. I'm just here to pretty much just, you know, talk to you guys about what I see. It's so important for you to just know yourself as a woman and not get caught up with certain women. I guess that's basically where I'm getting at. I don't want to long talk you guys, but it's so important. Like I said, it's important to your destiny. It's important to your walk with God, okay? The Most High God, not the God of this world, the Most High God. It's important because it can throw you off. It can throw you off balance. It can get you harmed. It can put you in a position to get harmed. Like I said, I just dumped way too much of this in here. It can put you in a position to get harmed, severely harmed, and it's something that you definitely would have to really pay attention to and keep vigilant of. Because like I said, I didn't know. I wish I would have known better. I wish I would have did better in certain aspects, because I started to liken myself to women like that. Women who had a different assignment in life, women who were on a different path, had a different childhood, and like I said, they have every right to be who they are. But I hope I got somewhere in there some good stuff that you all can kind of get the gist of what my intention of this video was. To just watch yourself, know what type of woman you are, know these other archetypes of women when you see them, and don't liken yourself to everyone and everything. It sounds like common sense, but it really isn't, especially when you're trying to find your way in this world as a young woman. I'm not gonna lie, like I can probably count on my hand the amount of times I've been to a club, but I'm the type of friend you could take to a club and I would enjoy myself. I could go to a lounge. I'm a stay-at-home person as well, but like I can enjoy myself in other settings, you know. I'm pretty versatile. But for some young women, you know, you really have to speak to them. Like if you know you have little cousins and stuff, or you have women in your life that you care about, you have daughters, granddaughters, whatever, goddaughters, nieces, talk to them, because this stuff, I'm trying to tell y'all, it's easy. Like I said, it's easy to point out the men, and I don't play around with the men. Y'all know me. I don't play around with anybody, because this is not a gender thing. This is about just putting out what, you know, the Most High places on my spirit. So it's not about genders for me. It's really just about the integrity, me sharing things. You know, I will definitely share more about times I felt like I was below my integrity. I try to be not as vulnerable as possible, because only God deserves that level of vulnerability, but I do try to share things from a perspective of, I know most of us go through it, you know? And if you don't go through it, sometimes you can be naive to it, and that within itself is dangerous. That's a whole different level of dangerous within itself. So that's all I have to say about that for now. If I have any other thoughts, you know, I'll make a follow-up video about it. But all in all, know your archetype of woman, know what type of woman you are, okay? It's a self-defined thing. I'm not telling you to go Google archetypes of women. It's a self-defined thing, and don't let anybody mess up your future by being aligned with the wrong crowd, okay? Don't align yourself with the wrong crowd. Like I said, it's not just these girls who are in the club. You got different type of women who they want to build some type of heart or feel a hierarchy over you, and that's not righteous. That's not people who really love you. Like I said, if people analyze and say, oh, okay, this is not her vibe, you know, that's one thing. But for them to belittle you or make you feel less than, that's not a righteous spirit at all. It's not. So that's all for now. We'll talk soon. Well, we'll talk later. I'll be listening to 20 Gassins too much.